What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. So today, it's getting close to the end of the week, and we're going to be taking a look at Conqueror level defenses and how to get out of those three ugly-ass silver stars. So, let's begin. So we're just going to go in Arena. So I use a very similar team pretty often. So as you can see, I'm at three silver stars, which is, it's fine. It'll get you some crystals, but you want to get above that. You want to get into Conquer. So I'm not the best player, but I do get Conquer pretty often. You can see that I don't know where you check to see your best ranking, but my best ranking has been like Conq 3. So I haven't gotten to Guardian before, but I get Conquer pretty consistently. And we're going to be taking some looks like what I do, because I don't have the best runes, but I just make the best of my team, and like I notice what teams I know I can beat and what I can't. I'm realistic, and then I'll go over some of the things why I use the teams I use. So for this team, I typically, it's not 100% guarantee I'll win, but it's a pretty good chance unless Orion does something crazy or the Ethna does something crazy. So the shield runes are actually on my Tosi instead of my Galleon. I'm trying to get a shield Galleon so I can make my Tosi a lot more aggressive. But the reason I say this is because you need, for teams like this, they're relying on their Orion to land a defense break or just mess up your team. So, boom, I don't think she'll, what the heck, since when does she do that? So, this is looking kind of grim. I didn't know that she stripped buffs, but most teams like this are relying to get the first turn and get that damage in. I still think I can win just because like they don't have that much damage unless you count Rakan and Ethna. So I guess it's pretty good damage, but we're trying to, if we don't reset the, so we did reset the Rakan's just, oh man. So that sucks for the first game. So as you guys can see, like a lot of these Orion defenses usually rely on their first turn and their Orion stripping buffs. So we took care of the strip buff, but didn't get rid of the Ethna. Did not see her as a threat. I usually don't see Ethna. So see, the Orion's just getting a ton of turns, and this Matt's gonna get a turn here. So the only way I could win this is if my Tosi just completely destroys the Rakan and somehow kills the Ethna. So that didn't happen. So I will most likely lose this one. So yeah, that happens. Trying to get into Conquer, you will still lose some. So that was one I knew I might not win, but I want to take the risk because, as you saw, I only lost 9 points. But, so this one, I probably could be, there's one specific way I know I can win, but I'd rather not do that. Let's just do it for fun, just to check it out. So for this, as you can see, most of their damage comes from Lucian, and it's a very win-heavy team. So I don't like doing this because it's really slow, and like if you're in rush hour, it's not the best thing to do. So I'll just put Rakan lead, Poseidon. I'll still put my my Saros, and then I'm gonna put what I call a bait monster, which is basically like I want this monster to be getting hit, and I want, because like they have so much win. So boom, I put my Camilla. She's gonna be getting targeted. She's gonna be tanking for my team. She's basically the bait for their team because their team's dumb. So when you have a one elemental team like this and you have a lot of the other element, but you have a tank for a certain element, you can just tank it. I would prefer not doing this in rush hour, but since we have time, we're gonna do this. We're just trying to get high in arena. So guaranteed he's gonna get first turn. Lucian might derp, maybe not. So he derps, she derps, still violent procking. So all of this happened, and none of my monsters have died, and they're not even gonna like. I just don't see the point of having a team that relies solely on one element. Yeah, you have the bombs, but that will kill one of my five. If I was to go full fire, it'd kill one, but is that really worth, like, I don't think it's worth it. So try to, if you see teams that rely solely on one element, for you should, if you have the other elements, that should be a freebie. It should be a free win over the week. So I usually wouldn't do this. I would just have skipped that if it was rush hour, because as you can see, this is taking quite some time, which is not ideal if you're trying to just get wins in. So I'm just gonna auto it. All right. So first battle we lost because Orion, and I did not expect the Edna to completely strip my. I need to check her skills. I haven't seen one of them in probably ages. So I just didn't expect that. It was just something that was like, I didn't know what that character's skills even did. So it's fine. It happens. This one, single element mostly. This is taking some time because I have, as you see, all fire. And she's water, so it's going to take some time. But single element teams don't really scare me because I know I can just tank them pretty much. So he's pretty high in arena using that. Alright, these type of defenses. I know that his Orion, like I told you guys, I have terrible runes. I know his Orion's going to be faster. He's going to get the first turn for sure. Get stripped, get bombed. There is one way where I can win this. And I'm looking at this team right now. And I'm still going to try to show you guys that you can still maybe win, maybe not. So if you have the speed, if you were guaranteed, like, let's say my Orion was like, or if my Kabila, which I'm trying to build, like if I had built her, I would go Samath, Kabila, and then go for Saros, an easy team. But let's say you don't have the speed, which I don't personally at the moment. What can you do with this? So I'm still going to go my Saros team for the most part. So the reason why I say that is what I'm doing right now is I know his Orion is going to go first. Most of them do that. I know also that his Tiana is going to go. So let's say his Orion lands, speeds it up. Tiana is going to go next, and she's going to use her Winds of Change. So what I need to do is tank the Tiana. I need to tank the... So I'm going to put a wind tank. So my only wind tank, which sounds really sad, but my only wind tank is my Trident. So I'm going to put my Trident in there to tank the Perna. And then I'm putting the Samath to tank the Sierra and take the bomb. The bomb explodes. Ideal damage. Comes back. Overwhelm. So this is pretty good. Like, this will go kind of quick. And then usually I would have Ping built for this. But I don't want to put Galleon because then she might target it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for this. I usually don't. But I kind of want to try a fun monster. So just for fun. Or not fun, but I enjoy using him. So for this team, if you can outspeed it, you win. There's some teams that I don't have the speed for. If you do have the runes, you should... If you have the runes to outspeed most teams, you should not be watching this video because you should already be way higher than me in Conquer. So as you can see, Orang goes first, then Tiana, so I don't understand that. Perna's gonna, he should be able to tank a couple of Perna hits. And then I get free damage right here. So with these teams, I never felt like Sierra lead teams are strong. I've never really had troubles with them. Maybe it's just because I have the right monsters. And like, it's just not a well-made team. It's just fast. And a lot of people will see the Sierra, will see the Orion, will see the Tiana and just be like, heck no, I'm not touching that. But you can play around the Sierra. You don't have to use a Samath. It just makes it easier. You don't have to use a Saros, but you do have to have like the general idea of like what turnover they'll get. So if you don't have the speed, you can still do a lot. So I usually just want to get the top hits early during the week. So teams like this is a scary team. If you see this team, just don't even bother. I don't even bother. It's not worth me. I would probably lose points. Can I win it? Yes, if his Shiwu is like... I'm going to show you guys just because I can. I could... I don't have my teams built on this, but... So if I went this... So if this guy is a really good player, his Shiwu will be really fast. I do have the extra 10% speed lead, but, you know, that doesn't always help. So his team can always derp, and that's what you're relying on. And I'm probably going to lose this, but I'm just going to show you guys, like, this is a very well-made defense. You would get a lot of points if you win this. You lose a lot if you didn't. So I know I'm gonna lose this one, but this is just something I'm gonna show you guys, like an example of like a good Shiwu. So obviously he derped his everything, like, see, very, very fast team. Just so you guys know, my Trident is almost at 200 speed. His whole team went before my Trident even got to go. This guy is obviously probably like really good. He probably should be higher up in Conqueror. Everything he has is well made. You can't really Lucian this team either, because you could Lucian it if you had the speed, but I guarantee you that you would need to have a stripper. And that would take, like, you can't really Lucian a team because he has kind of tanky team. So I just want to show you guys, this is a really good player. I don't have the rune quality for that. So normally I would have skipped that. For these, I do wanna try it because I know this is a team I normally try. My biggest fear here is the Camilla, because I know she's gonna be harping on my Zeros. So this is a team I almost always will take, and I should be able to win this one, assuming the Camilla just doesn't go balls to the wall and kills everyone on my team. But as you saw on the other team, you have to know, like, I have to have a lot more game knowledge because my runes aren't the best. That I have to know that, hey, I need to have someone that tanks. I need to have this. I need to know their turn order, because I need to be able to counter their teams. So for this team, yeah, it's fast. The biggest threat on their team, in my personal opinion, for me, is the Camilla. And they built their Camilla kind of squishy. So that immediately tells me that I can't know this before I fight them, but you want to build your Camilla's tanky. Like, yeah, okay, she does damage, great, but she's slow and she's not doing anything. So at this level, even if they have Orions, guys, Orions aren't that scary. Just, you have to have will and shield for them. And if they go crazy, yeah, you will lose the fight. But typically they're not. So this, guys, it's like slow team. So for these type of teams, in Conk, if you want to know, most Theomars will be under 180 or about 180. So I know my Trident should get the turn first and decrease their attack bar. So you need to know where you are. So here, most people won't have monsters at 200 speed. The reason I run Cleave Team is because, like, Cleave teams are good at especially with Shield Will, you can go against fast teams and let them do their things and just have 1 or 2 tank monsters in there that still have a purpose, and then you beat them easily. Because, like, you let them have their turn first, unless for a lot of teams they'll just have an Orion because they won the first turn. But if you see that they're relying solely on their Orion for debuffs and they have 0 strip, take a Shield Will team. Easy game, easy fight. So for this one, super easy. They have no Orion, so they're not trying to get the first turn. I know my Trident is at 200, so most people won't have monsters that are faster than that. Alright, so this one, so let's look at this team. Tianas. Tianas are typically, look at the base speed. It's really low. They might have put their best will runes on them, but I highly doubt it because they're not Conqueror right now. So I do want to say, I could be wrong, but I do want to say that. So I told you guys my Trident is at close to 200. I want him to get faster. That would probably put me almost at Guardian if I was able to get everything faster. But, so for a team like this, if you have a team that's... So I'm going to do this, and it's a really YOLO because they have a really YOLO defense. They're trying to get their first turn and beat you. But they don't have a speed lead, so they kind of lose, like, the scariness factor. So most people will have their Tianas at this level, probably 130 speed. So this is risky. This will guarantee me a win if I get the first turn, unless my Trident just messes up. But for teams like this that are very YOLO, if you have the right runes for speed, you will win 10 out of 10. But I can't let them take the first turn because I know they have a Tiana. So these are teams you don't want to let them have the first turn. But Tianas are slow, so I know they're gonna have. I'm gonna assume. I always assume for teams like this they have will and shield. So, like I said, getting first turn wins. So I'm gonna do this, just because I know they probably have this. So I'm gonna need my Bernard, because I want to have first turn. And they have a very YOLO team. They have no tank. So if I Sarah's that, or like if you have enough damage on your team and your units, you can win it. So let me just see where the attack board would be for the Tiana. So yeah, really fast Tiana. This person has a really well made team. No will though, which is really weird, because for Tiana teams you typically will see them have a will. This guy doesn't. So the Saros didn't get reset. So he's gonna get Fiery Breath. So this can get really bad for me here. It's a Despairos. So I didn't think I was gonna. So this might get a lot closer because my Sarah is just completely like fucked up. So I should have won this one. I'm gonna go again against him because I shouldn't have lost this one. So he has really quick units, and this can be a trap because they know that their units are fast. And you can get to first turn, but you have to have the damage behind it. So I should have switched my Triton, but the reason I didn't is because like his Tiana might cut in if I don't do this. So I don't know how I have so much reset, and the Saras or the other one didn't even get their skills reset. So this time, if they reset, he still resisted. This Saras is a fucking G, dude. Just completely just like, damn. Every single time just resist. So this time, this should have gone, and my whole team wasn't like complete trash. I don't know. My Saras has decent accuracy at 40, but their biggest threat was the Saras. And yeah, he's gonna kill my Saras. Like you want to go for teams like this. The other guys are just supports. You want to go for their big threats, their big damage. But surprisingly, they didn't have will. I would have probably gone for a will instead of what they went here, because the will makes it so you have to bring a stripper. I didn't have to bring a stripper to this team. I just chose to because I like the decreased attack bar. I could have probably brought my Poseidon and used that, but I just wanted to show you guys like some of the assumptions I have to make will help you later on when you go against harder teams. So this one's over, and see, so I'll summarize kind of what I talked about because I know I've been rambling a lot. So I'll just kind of summarize. So for this team, me personally, why I say I can't beat this team right off the bat, I'm not even going to fight it. So Ciara lead, ton of speed. Bernard, super fast. Fine. I know my I don't have something anywhere that can outspeed that. Then you have this, Bastet, super shield, super annoying. Sierra. So let's say I brought a Cleave team. So let's say I went with my Will team, right? The reason why I don't want to go for this is because the risk comes from a Theomars. The Theomars is going to have an attack buff, and I assume it's going to be very well ruined. If I was to bring my normal Cleave team, so I would normally Cleave this. The Theomars, I personally hate Theomars defenses because you don't know who Theomars is going to hit. You don't. I might actually try a team on this one. I normally wouldn't do this, but since we're trying this, I do have my Hwadam now. I do have Hwadam, and I do have him decently tanky. No, I don't. So I haven't skilled up, but I might try this because I've been wanting to take it because I know the biggest threat on this is the Theomars for me. Because I know my Galleon, he's going to be going for my Galleon if I do this. He's going to go for my Galleon. 10 out of 10. He'll go for Galleon. 100%. Like the Sierra. So I'm not worried. I know that Bernard will go for that. Bastet will go for my Saros. But my Saros is my biggest damage. If the Theomars decides to go for my Saros, I'm fucked. But if I have a Hwadam, maybe if he goes for my Saros, Hwadam will just heal my guy up. So I'm going to try this. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never tried this. But for teams like that, are probably the scariest teams to me. One of the scariest. Because Theomars is just so random. So even if he derp, you see all that he has. So look at that. Theomars, boom. If my Galleon died, I lost the match. it's over. But my Huadam, I might still lose this, but as you guys can see, like, you never know what Theomars is gonna do. That's why I hate Theomars so much. You can't predict what they're gonna do. You just never know. So I might actually win this just due to the fact that I have a Huadam. But not everyone has that luxury of having one. So I should not have won this one. If you guys saw, let's say I put my Tosi in there. I'm done. I'm screwed. If he dies, that's my main source of damage is my Seras. My Tosi can't kill the Theomars in one turn. So that's good for me that I have a Huadam. It's great. But yeah, so you won't... those type of teams, I would recommend you guys dodge it because you don't know what they're going to do. You know what the Sierra, you know what the Bastet, you know what the Bernard's going to do. But Theomars is, at this level, when you start getting to Conqueror, 100% Violent will be 180 speed and will be able to one-shot all, if you have a squishy unit, one-shot it. Done. Alright, so this team. This team, I personally won't fight because I know I might. Because Sekhmet is also one of those monsters that's really slow and some people like building her differently. So for this last team, the Sekhmet kind of worries me because I run a Trident and I know she'll go for Trident. But you know what? I'm just going to go for it because YOLO and it's the last match. And yeah, I'm just going to do it just for fun. Just to see what happens. So I'm hoping that my Trident will be fast enough to match the Bastet. These people are, technically since it's the reset week, these people would normally be Conqueror or High Conqueror. So I know this Bastet's going to be fast. I know this Velajul is going to be fast. But Velajul and Sekhmet both have pretty low base speeds. So I'm going to do this. I know my Trident's not up there. I normally wouldn't do this in rush hour. I might make a rush hour video so you guys can see the difference in what I do. But let's just see. So boom, right off the bat, I lost. Sekhmet did what she did. I got outspeeded. This segment is obviously a swift segment. So I might still win. I might actually... So that's really lucky with some math. I was just going for that because I don't think I can win it, but I'm still going to try because I like going... during the week, you want to see what goes wrong, what your team does well. So what I did wrong in this one, I knew from the bat that if the segment's faster, I lose. And if you ever have a doubt that if this unit is faster, you might lose, just don't go for it. If you don't have the speed, don't go for it. If you can't tank it, don't go for it. So I'll probably still actually win this one. Unless, just the only reason I say unless because I've seen so many Riteshes come back. So I'm going to take care of Sekhmet first because I don't want her debuffing me. And let's see if my Seras can land a crit here. I'm going to go for the dots just because I know he just used the heal. So that's what I'm saying. You never know what's going to happen. If he goes again, I lost the game. I lost the match. Yeah. So I should have won that one. But Ritesh went crazy. Which is something I can't control. But that's it for today. So as you guys can see, if you ever have a doubt that this unit's going to go faster than me, you need to know what units are fast. So like Sekhmets, super fast. Tianas, fast but not as fast. So if you have good runes, you can outspeed them. Oracles, all oracles are going to be over 220 speed. Just know this. This is like, you need to know what monsters are just super quick. And so like, I'm going to show you guys the runes now. Super low speed, Despair. I use him mainly because like of his passive and for tanking wind monsters because I know he can come back. And because of the speed lead. But he also has pretty high attack, pretty good crit rate. So he's just there for like an initial burst. I usually won't use him if I don't get first turn. But as you can see, super slow. My Seras, 173. Again, super slow. This is probably where I'm limited is by my speed. If I could get all my units to 200 speed, I would have won in teams like that because I could make my Trident faster. So again, super slow. My Galleon, I have to make him slightly faster than my Seros to speed tune them. I made him a little tankier, but also gave him some attack because he does sometimes help me a lot. And I put him Violent versus Will the reason I do this is because I need Galleon to go a lot against Camilla's because of his second skill, and I need him to do some more damage than I would if I just had him on shield. He's not going to be going that much. He's not going to be doing the damage. My Rakan, if you wanted to know, again, super slow Rakan. Yeah, pretty slow. My Camilla is actually, this is probably my best rune monster. I've put my best runes on her, and they're not grinded. I'm not big on grinding yet. Just haven't gotten into it. It's just one of those dungeons that I know I need to do, but I just don't. And as you guys can see, like, my runes aren't the best, and I still managed to get Conqueror just because I know I can tank this. I can tank this team. I can use this for this. Obviously, if you're talking about Guardian, that's a completely different story. But for Conqueror, like, most of you guys want to get to Conqueror. You want to get rid of those ugly silver stars. This is what you need to do. So I'm going to summarize it right here at the end of the video. So what you need to do to get out of silver stars. First, get good runes. But let's say you have mediocre runes, but you know, like, so kind of like mine, where I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. Like, decent speed. Obviously attack because it's fatal, but having will, if you're going to run a cleave team, will and shield if you're going to be tanking, an absolute must. So if you know the enemy team's faster, but you don't see a damage threat, like a big damage threat, like I'm talking like can one-shot one of your units, run your cleave team. It's okay to get second turn. Just tank it out and then come back with it. It's fine. I recommend using cleave teams in situations like that. If you want to outspeed, you need to have units that, so for Conqueror level, the average speed you need to have for Bernards is probably, to be competitive, to get to Conqueror, your Bernard needs to be, if you're going to be using a speed team, your Bernard needs to be 250. You're trying to outspeed another Bernard. 250 speed. Has to. Absolute must. If they have a speed lead, you have to match their speed lead too. Then it gets completely different. So the reason why I say Kabila would be like my solution to a lot of those teams is because she gets extra speed. And her base speed's so high, it's so much easier with Swift to get her to 250. But that's another thing that's like, not everyone has a Kabila. So like, let's say Bernard, 250 speed. If you can't outspeed them, you need to run a cleave team. When you run a cleave team, make sure you tank, you have a certain elements that will tank. You don't need to have a Saros. I know people are going to be like, oh, you only run cleave teams and got to Conqueror Arena because you ran a Saros and you just reset everyone. No, I used to run an Akuma Beer offense. I used to run this guy all the time along with Galleon, and I still would wreck shop with them just because I used the same idea as I'm telling you guys now. I used to run this guy, and I love them. I used to run him, Lure, Galleon, just him, Lure, and my dark, like, whatever, like, just put dots and stuff. And you can still run those. Like, cleave teams don't need a Saros. People will say, like, you can't have a cleave team if you don't have a Saros. No. Alicia cleave teams are also amazing. Obviously, you can't go against, like, some math teams not knowing that he's gonna, like, come back to life. But some math teams overall are, like, kind of scary usually, so that's, but to get out silver, if you don't have the runes, run cleave teams, let them get the first turn, but just tank. If you have the speed, but you don't have the damage, just use a control team. Strip, control, you would win the match. So these are things that you guys have to think about, and I hope it was informational. I know I rambled a lot. I don't really have a script for these. I just kind of look at what they have. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm signing out, so I might do another video, but on rush hour, but we'll see. All right, good night, guys, and peace.